Hello everybody and welcome back for another video. Today we're going to show off the Frostblade. Let's go and do it. Alright. Let's get over here to an armorer. And let's change. So in the last video, I showed you all of my stuff for my Fireblade. This next one, I call the Frostblade. So that's a Fireblade. Let's go Frostblade, equip build, boom. There we go. All right, let me show you what I've got. Okay, so the idea behind the Frostblade was actually from a friend of mine in chat, and they were like, hey, I really like, the Frostagon build, right, the dad build, but do you think you could apply it to the Magblade? Because they like their Magblade. And I was like, gosh, I don't see why not. It would be a lot of fun. A few things are going to be different. Some skills are going to be different, of course, and everything. Because the Frostagon is a warden. And there's some new stuff coming out with update 33. And I'm like, yeah, I don't see why not. And then I asked some of my Magblade gurus, what do you think of this? Is this something that could be, things? Yeah, it's actually, it doesn't matter as much as you think it does, for some of the, for some of the stuff, and you'd actually probably be a little bit tankier in certain situations, with it. So I'm like, okay. So this is a dad build setup. So it's not going to parse, of course, as high as what we see in the and what's going on with the Fireblade, but it's all about control, survivability, a lot of AOE, damage, and just kind of a lot of fun with it. So let me show you what I got. Now, I've got the two sets that are kind of the standard sets in my mind for a DPS Frost Staff build. So I probably should have said that the first thing. So the big difference between each one of these, the Fireblade, the Frostblade, and the Shockblade, is that can we make a build using the different staffs? All right. So the Fire Staff is more about single target damage. The Frost is more about the AoE and even a little tankiness. And the Shock is actually a heavy attack and doing some splash damage and some other things with that. So, and a lot of proc types things. So, so what we have here is, starting off, is our Frostbite set. All right, it's a themed set, of course, because we want a lot of frost. Frostbite, new one, came out with the last update, with Blackwood, and you've got Frostbite here. Main thing is that it increases the damage done with your frost abilities. Increases your damage done against chilled enemies by 4%. Increases your damage done against afflicted, enemies afflicted with minor brittle. All right, so awesome. The other one that's really, and great thing about this, it's Overland. All right, Overland, so you can buy it at a trader and just find it yourself. The other set is Winter's Respite, which was the Overland set for Western Skyrim. All right, so with the Greymore chapter. With this one, casting abilities that leave an effect on the ground will create a circle of healing. So this is actually really great, because with this setup, we don't need any Pale Order to be able to do arenas and such. We've got it built into the set in here. So you and your group members will restore health inside the circle. The effect can occur every 10 seconds and scales off of your magic or stamina. So I had that as the jewelry and both of the staffs. I was thinking, should I put a Maelstrom on the back bar? And I'm like, wait a second, because I'm trying to proc the AoEs, and I've got to have an ability that has an effect on the ground. Both of those are on my back bar, so I need that for the back bar. So I do have it infused with the weapon damage, spell damage, On the front, I have the precise with the frost damage on there. So, yeah. And then the new one. Now you could use the old one. The old one that I was using with Frostagon, do I still have it on here? Was Ice Heart. Ice Heart, really, really good. You know, gives us that survivability, gives us a shield, gives us some close AoE damage. Really great. And you can still use that. When I did my Maelstrom, Veteran Maelstrom Arena run, I was using that to test it out to see if it worked, prior to update 33. The new one that I have is Nonotok, if you see that one on the left. Okay? Nonotok is a new one. You get it from, for the monster set, for the helm to get it, it comes out of Imperial City. You have to go to the trophy room out of Memorial District. The vault's up there. You've got to bring your key fragments. Be careful when you do. Only bring enough that a limited amount. Don't keep all of your keys on, all of your key fragments on you, because as soon as you walk in, they instantly turn the keys. And if you don't need all those keys, then all those key fragments are wasted. So, each key is 60 key fragments when you go to a vault. So 60 key fragments equal 1 key. So you go in there and you can get this helm. Now the other way you can get it is just in the Memorial District. Nonotok is running around, which is it's an ice ice giant thing. It looks just like our it's an ice Atronach. So it looks just like this guy. All right. Yeah, walking around. So you can do that, and get all the helms and do that way. So either way, you can do it. Now for the shoulders, you have to use Telvar, and it's like 20,000 Telvar per case. So down in the sewers, there is a merchant down there that has the coffer for the shoulders. Great part of it is that it doesn't compete against any other shoulders, for something else, like a different dungeon or something like that. No, you go in there, it's non-attack. The only RNG part of it is that whether you're going to get the light, medium, or heavy. So it might take you a few, tries to get there, hopefully not too much. So yeah, and it's 20,000 Telvar for each one. And yeah. So that gets your set. Well, what is this set? Why did you change to it? It says, on dealing frost damage, create a 6-meter area under the target for 6 seconds, dealing 775 frost damage to the enemies every second, and applying a stack of 25% snare for 4 seconds. On gaining 4 stacks, the enemy is immobilized and gains major brittle for 4 seconds, causing the target to take 20% increased critical damage. This effect can occur once every 15 seconds and scales off of the higher of your weapon or magicka. All right, and the great thing is that anything can proc it. That's frost, and so that's why I have like the frost damage of the frost enchant on my staff here. So I can just go here, boom, and there it goes. There's a little spike in this little kind of cool looking thing of a of frost emanating from the ground. All right, yeah. And again, it is an AoE. Anything inside that AoE is going to get those stacks and immobilize. So that's part of the control aspect that I was talking to you about earlier. So yeah, so there's our sets. Very similar in philosophy of what I did with the Fire Blade, where I wanted a full monster set, I wanted a 5-piece, and another 5-piece. All right, I'm kind of making them a little bit simpler in that way. That having Slimecraft for the thing and having a mythic for this and a thing for that, and like it just gets a little bit complicated with that. So I kind of decided to simplify it right now. Maybe that'll change in the future, but right now having 2-piece, a 5-piece, and a 5-piece works out really well with it. All right. So let's see. Do I have the right food on? Let's see. Right food. Boom. Just to make sure. If you're looking at stats, I've got everything into Magicka. A little bit more Magicka than what I was getting on my fire, like 3,000 more. We've got our health in here, 25, 3, 3, 3, 3. It turns out to be all threes. 54 for the spell crit. So we're critting stuff. Our recovery's a little bit better. I'm still using the thief with it to just get that the procking up, and a lot of fun because we still have the same skills that we had before. I'm still using structure and entropy. I'm still using swallow soul, the bow, the impale, the new one of camouflage hunter, and incapacitate stripe. But now my back bar is going to be the frost. We got stable wall, twisting path. We siphoning is the same. Dark Shade is the same. That's the same. But then my icy rage is going to be a little bit different because it does frost damage, and that also is going to proc all the stuff in there. So if I take, let's get our all right, get those resources up for my ulti in here. Laying down my oops. Why are you not showing things? Okay, there we go. Laying down as my first move is unstable wall. It's going to do a lot of things for me. All right, it's going to put down the damage. It's going to proc the sets and start on that major brittle, and also give us that shield. So just by going boom, we got a lot of stuff going on here, and the heal. So we got, just with that one skill, we've got a Winter's Respite heal, we've got the damage of unstable wall, we've got the shield around us there for the projectiles, and we've got the starting of the stacks for non-attack. Boom. Yeah, so a lot of frost go. Feels a little chilly in here. All right. Mix that with everything else that we've got on here. I'll wait for that to go down. All right, and it's every. What do I have to wait for it with it? It's every 15 seconds, so it's not too bad because our unstable wall lasts 10 seconds. So downtime is not bad. Usually what I would do to start off is that I would prep my bow, I would get my siphon, I'd get my guy out, and then I'd start hitting boom, boom, my ulti, my stuff in here, and then boom, and I'm all set. Boom, and I'm doing some good damage. Yeah. And also healing myself, which is nice. So, like I said, I did this for my VMA run. I think I got 48 minutes. I was like 556 or something like that. 1,000. 556K in there, which is really good. So, yeah. So, and I like it for just going around the world because it's great with mobs and great for dungeons and all that. And also gives you a little bit of heal. So if you need someone with a little bit of healing in there, you've got that as well. So yeah, I really, really like it. Let's see. As far as a parse damage, it is much lower than what we saw. Again, we're not looking at the numbers for the Fireblade, which excels at a single target. We're looking at this this is going to be group damage against something. So it is 60k. I just did a couple of parses just to see where I was at with it. It doing high single target damage in a parse is not what it's all about. A, it's a dad build. B, you've got a fairly easy way of gaining all of these things. And C, fun. And then D, survivability. And then E, it's cool. And I'm making a pun because it's frost damage. And F, because it's really, really cool. So, like I said, it's a great thing. It's if for people who have really invested a lot of time on a Nightblade and they want an option using my Frostagon build in there, you have that. And you can see again. I'll have this open so you can pause it and see what I'm running. So the Ice Staff with the Precise and the Infused, the Non-Attack, the Frostbite, the Winter's Respite, and then on the right hand side you can see what I'm using for that: Fighting Finesse, Deadly Aim, Thaumaturge, Master of Arms, which I believe is the same thing I had in my other one. So yeah. You might, maybe if you wanted to use Biting Aura somewhere to throw in for that, maybe that'll give you a little bit higher numbers, but nothing too big. So yeah, so this is kind of like the control one in there. So yeah, so again, lots of fun. I really had a great time figuring that out, just to see if you could actually do it, which was kind of thing. So it started me down this path of the Elemental Blade, where now we've got a Fire Blade, we've got a Frost Blade, and in the next video, I'll be talking about our Shock Blade. So, thank you everybody. I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!